Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Chris Black's NJPW Report. I am the natural Chris Black, one of the voices of the Saturday Night SlamCasters Podcast, as well as an independent professional wrestler. But this show isn't about me. This is all about New Japan, the best presentation of professional wrestling on the planet. And I'm so excited about today's show. There's a lot going on this week in the world of New Japan. Some of the top stories that I'm going to cover today will be the final night in the New Japan Road Tour, last week's review of NJPW Strong, the Lions Break Crown Tournament, my thoughts going into the G1 Climax Tournament, and of course, this week's preview of NJPW Strong. But as always, before we get into all that, I just want to remind you that I will be covering each and every night of the G1 Climax Tournament, kind of like I did for the New Japan Cup, except for I'm going to definitely get each episode out as soon as possible. So I want you to take this time to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, ring the bell notification so that you are alerted every time new episodes are posted. You definitely will not want to miss any of my coverage of this year's tournament. So with that being said, let's get into the show. Starting out, we're going to talk about the final night of the New Japan Road Tour. We have 5 exciting matches to talk about. Very first match is Honma, Nagata, and Kojima versus Gabriel Kidd, Yumura, and Tsuji. So we got the Young Lions taking on some of the wily veterans of New Japan. Umura attempts to trade blows with Nagata right away when the bell rings. Umura is a firecracker, although he does take a lot of punishment during the first half of this match. The young powerhouse Tsuji comes in and starts lighting everybody up, throwing bodies all around. Gabriel Kidd gets in with the hot tag and unleashes a fury on Kojima, but Kojima stacks all the Young Lions up and delivers a bunch of machine gun chops to each of them. The Young Lions bounce back with a triple threat attack on Kojima. You know, as I'm watching this match, I can tell that the Young Lions really work on the basics. They are very, very good. Everything is tight. Everything is snug. They utilize the Boston Crab a lot, which is a very basic move, but does dish out a lot of punishment. In the end, Kojima hit a hard lariat on Gabriel Kidd for the win. In the next match, we had Wato, Taguchi, Ibushi, and Tanahashi taking on Suzuki-gun, Doki, Zack Sabre Jr., Tai Chi, and Suzuki. As always, they come out to Suzuki's music. Man, Minoru Suzuki, he's an old school pimp. I do follow him on Instagram, and he is always showing off his nice socks with his matching shoes. I mean, dude is just suited and booted every single day. I would love to get in the ring with Suzuki. Now, I may sound like a little bit of a glutton for punishment for that, but I think his hard-hitting style would complement Chris Black's. Alright, so we start out with Ibushi getting in Suzuki's face before the start of the match. They will be in the same block in the G1 Climax Tournament. Suzuki-gun jumpstarts the match, as always, starts beating down the faces. This is a very fast-paced match with Doki and Wato beginning. Suzuki-gun assaults all the faces on the outside. We get a bit of a preview of the Suzuki-Ibushi match coming up in the G1 Climax Tournament. I absolutely love this exchange. These two hit hard. Oh my god, I just love it. Zack Sabre Jr. and Tanahashi, who's also on the same block for the G1, tags in and goes in at each other. This match is basically telling the story of Tanahashi's knee. Tanahashi has been having knee trouble ever since the New Japan Cup. Tai Chi exploits that every chance he gets. Taguchi tags in, and I really don't know what to make of that guy. He's just kind of all over the place. Obviously a comical character. Don't expect him to really win many matches, but hey, he might surprise me. Taichi is left alone in the ring with Taguchi, while Suzuki-gun keeps the others at bay. And Taichi ends up submitting Taguchi for the win. And surprisingly, at the end of this match, Taichi and Suzuki gets in each other's face. Both of them will be in the A block of the G1 Climax. And as you can tell, you have no friends in this tournament. Nothing but fierce competition. In the next match, we have Sanada, Tagaki, and Naito taking on Yujiro Takahashi, Dick Togo, and Evil. I will say that I prefer this Evil rendition, this rendition of Evil, the Bullet Club Evil. If you remember if you listen to any of my reviews of the New Japan Cup, I was always questioning why Evil was given so many main events, as I wasn't too into his character. The whole Lord of Darkness thing just really didn't appeal to me. But this new version of Evil, I can really get into. But back to the match. So the Bullet Club starts with the Pearl Harbor. Naito and Evil starts out. Bullet Club does a great job controlling the pace and keeping Naito from tagging in. Eventually, Tagaki tags in and begins to hold his own. But in the end, it is Sanada with the win via submission on Takahashi. At this point, they have a little bit of a break to announce that they have posted the lineup for the G1 Climax for each night. And I took a look at it, and I was absolutely pumped. Plus, I heard from Kevin Kelly that they will be attempting live English commentary. Since the pandemic, I've noticed that they posted the English commentary normally a couple days behind, which is why my New Japan Cup reviews were a little bit behind. Remember, I'm still very new to the product. I really got deep involved into New Japan back at last year's G1 Climax, so I prefer the English commentary so I can explain what the moves are and know a little bit more about the characters, as the commentator team normally does a good job of telling the story that I don't know, a lot of the background history of each of these characters. Alright, getting back to the action. Next match, never openweight 6-man tag team title match. You have the members of Chaos going one-on-one with each other. You have a team of Yoshihashi, Ishii, and Hiroki Goto taking on Sho, Toru Yano, and Okada. Sho and Ishii start out this match in brutal fashion, with Sho pounding on Ishii. Ishii had to tag out Goto, and he looked like he was absolutely out of it. I've never seen Ishii rock that way. Sho quickly tags in Yano. Of course, Yano has to pull some of the turnbuckle shenanigans, but tags in Okada as Goto tags Yoshihashi. The action spills to the outside as Ishii and Sho go at it again. Sho is being very aggressive during this match. By watching this, you would think that these two teams were bitter rivals by the way they were just beating the hell out of each other. But again, they're both members of the same Chaos team. Okada and Ishii get in the ring. Both are in the A block for the G1 Climax. Ishii and Sho duke it out once again, but Ishii nails him with some stiff forearm chops to the throat. My God, I swear I don't want to take any of those. Sho does perform a deadlift German on Ishii, which is an impressive move based on Sho's size versus Ishii's size. Ishii is able to nail Sho with the vertical drop brainbuster for the pin and the win. At the end of the match, all members of Chaos were still able to shake hands and stand in unity after the match. Again, this is what I absolutely love about New Japan. Their competitors are actually competitors. They may be friends outside the ring, they may be a unit outside the ring, but if they're in a match against each other, once that bell rings, all bets are off. Again, I love that about New Japan. And in the main event, we have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles being decided between the team of LIJ members Bushi and Hiromu Takahashi taking on Suzuki-gun members Kanemaru and El Desperado. This match starts out with some quick spots between the two teams. Bushi uses his shirt to choke Kanemaru and then goes for the pin, but Red Shoes doesn't count the pin attempt after some dirty deeds were done, and I don't mean Jon Moxley. I love the fact that New Japan's refs really show that they have control of the match as they use their discretion whether or not they want to disqualify a person or not. Something isn't just automatically a disqualification like in some other wrestling shows. Suzuki-gun takes control of the match, isolating Takahashi, working over his head and neck. Takahashi does his best to fight back and is able to tag Bushi after a devastating dragon leg screw, neutralizing Kanemaru. Bushi takes on both members of Suzuki-gun and even lands a Busharuni afterwards. LIJ is in control as Takahashi comes back in. They hit a sunset German combo on El Desperado. Very impressive looking. They then hit an LAT on Desperado, which is one of their double team finishers, but Kanemaru pulls the ref out before the 3 count. They are able to retain control while the ref is out and nails Takahashi with a pinche loco. One of the refs is thrown back in, but Bushi breaks up the pin. There is a brainbuster hit by Kanemaru on Bushi, which takes him out of the match. Holds Himuro, and El Desperado hits a stiff right arm before nailing the second pinche loco for the pin. So new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the team of Suzuki-gun, Kanemaru, and El Desperado. Moving on, last week's edition of NJPW Strong. Opening match, you had a tag match of TJP and ACH taking on Adrian Quest and Logan Regal. As the commentator stated, Adrian Quest started training at age 11, had his first match at age 13. I can't imagine going through wrestling training at age 11, let alone having my first match at age 13. I'm really not digging the ACH's new attitude. He's a little bit too nonchalant for my liking, actually being a bit of a smug character. ACH and Regal start out. The opening spot was a little bit of a flub as ACH and Regal kind of ran into each other. It seems like Regal forgot the leg takedown, but they were able to recover it, but it just looked kind of funky to a trained eye. It was at this point where I began to question, is NJPW Strong kind of like the NXT version of New Japan? Not necessarily a developmental league, but is a smaller league where younger talent gets the chance to shine and have the opportunity to get some more ring experience. Anyway, so TJP gets in, and TJP is doing some TJP things. He's a very smooth worker. His moves are very crisp. And like Quest, he also trained at an early age. So you have two very young veterans in this business. Interesting spot. While TJP had Quest in a submission, ACH was in the ring, but keeping Regal out, like standing guard. And I was wondering why the ref wasn't counting him out or telling him to get out of the ring. TJP and ACH were very dominant in this match. Regal gets the hot tag as they mount a comeback, bopping both guys around. But in the end, ACH is able to nail a frog splash on Quest for the win. This is a very fast-paced match, but at certain points, it seemed a little bit rushed. I think they should take a little bit more time registering and selling, and take a little bit more time going from one spot to another. Again, not quite sure what type of time restraints that they might have. Maybe there's a reason for them to move a little bit quicker. But as my trainer always said, if you have a 10-minute great match, how do you make that match better? You do the same match, but stretch it to 20. Just saying. In the next match, you had David Finlay and PJ Black taking on the Gorillas of Destiny. PJ Black and Tama Tonga start off the match, and PJ surprises Tonga after countering all of his attacks, and they go to the outside to regroup with Tonga Loa. The Gorillas of Destiny and Finlay are no strangers to each other. Finlay and partner Juice Robinson had quite a bit of a feud with the Gorillas of Destiny. So the Gorillas are punishing Finlay, keeping Black out of the ring. There's a lot of quick tags by the Gorillas, maintaining control of the match. Finlay finally finds an opening and tags in PJ Black for the hot tag. Tonga Loa takes his bumps, but in the end, Tonga Loa does pin PJ in dominant fashion, connecting with a move which he calls the Ancient, which to me looks like the big ending. Winners of the match, Guerrillas of Destiny, which is probably one of their top tag teams in New Japan. In the next match, you had the young upstart, former Marine drill sergeant Danny Limelight taking on the experienced veteran Rocky Romero. Very good chain wrestling to start off the match, as each other is pretty much filling each other out. Rocky starts a striking contest with Limelight, and Limelight doesn't back down. Sends Romero to the outside and does an amazing twisting dive over the top ropes and gives a little shimmy afterwards, showing a little bit of character, showing a little bit of charisma. I see you, Danny Limelight. Pissed, Romero decides to take an aggressive advantage or approach to the match. I like how they portrayed a lot of the rookie mistakes by Limelight in this match. He had a little bit too much showboating when he gained a small advantage, which cost him in the end. Romero traps Limelight in an armbar and forces him to tap out. Nice showing by Danny Limelight, even though he came up short. Before the main event, they took a break to discuss the dominant moves that the Bullet Club has been making lately. They go over Evil winning the New Japan Cup, challenging for the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championship against Tetsuya Naito and winning those titles. Unfortunately, he did lose them back at the end of the Summer Struggle tour. They go over Kenta winning the NJPW USA Cup, winning him the right to challenge for Jon Moxley's US title. So let's get into this main event of Kenta taking on Jeff Cobb for that briefcase for the right to challenge the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship. At the start of the match, Kenta took a page out of Jay White's playbook and goes to the outside once the bell rang. He rolls back in and then back out to get Cobb to follow him to the outside. Basic heel tactics. Cobb was being very patient, not making any hasty mistakes. He knows what's up. Kenta gets in and goes after Cobb's weakened leg, which I'm wondering is going to play into his G1 performance. Cobb does use his brute strength to slow down Kenta. Kenta returns to attacking the leg to neutralize Cobb. In the words of the great Terry Silver, a man can't stand, he can't fight. So Kenta's taking a little bit of a page from the old school Cobra Kai. Kenta is stalking Cobb, dishing out as much punishment on the leg as he can. He applies a leg lock to further damage that leg. Cobb starts to shake off the pain, inviting Kenta to hit him some more as he starts to get up. Slowly gains an advantage, but his leg is still bothering him as he limps to go in for the kill. Kenta is very good at exploiting this injury in order to regain the advantage, but Cobb manages to hit him with a Samoan drop, and as he goes over to run to Kenta, the ref is pulled into the way, knocking him out as Cobb just basically plows into him. While the ref is out, Cobb hits the Tour of the Islands, but there is no ref to count. Kenta low blows him, goes for the go to sleep, but Cobb reverses and nails another Tour of the Islands, but this time he can't capitalize because of the damage to his knee. After some time, he finally goes to the pin. The ref slowly counts, but Chase Owens pulls the ref out, grabs the briefcase, tosses it to Kenta, who nails Cobb with it. No ref sees this because the second ref that came down to help the first did not see the briefcase shot. Kenta hits the GTS for the win, so he still has the right to challenge for the IWGP US Heavyweight title. Next thing to talk about is the upcoming Lions Break Crown tournament. This is an 8-man single elimination tournament for all the young upcoming competitors of New Japan Pro Wrestling. The 8 competitors are Logan Regal, the DKC, Clark Connors, Jordan Clearwater, Danny Limelight, Barrett Brown, Adrian Quest, and Blake Christian. I did a little bit of research, as again I'm fairly new to the New Japan product. This tournament is going to take place during NJPW Strong. The first round matches will be held on September 25th, with one semifinal match on October 1st and one on October 8th. This Friday, we will have the tournament opening 8-man tag on NJPW Strong. Again, I went and did some research on a little bit of this Lions break. And as I found out, the Lions break began in 2018 as a test for the trainees of the New Japan Dojo in Los Angeles. At the very first event, the Lions Break Project 1, which took place on November 10th and 11th in Anaheim, California. That event saw the debuts of Alex Coughlin, Carl Fredericks, and Clark Connors, along with NJPW stars like Hiroki Goto, Kenny Omega, and Jushin Thunder Liger. At the Lions Break Project 2, which took place on December 7th and 8th in 2019, also in Anaheim, this event featured the debuts of the Regal Twins, Logan and Sterling, and Barrett Brown. New Japan had planned on having a Lions Break Project 3 for WrestleCon this year in Tampa, Florida. However, they had to cancel the event due to the bastard known as COVID-19. In place of the Lions Break Project 3, NJPW instead gave us the Lions Break Collision back in July, and the series ran on New Japan World from July 3rd through the 24th. And I saw a little bit of that. That's when I found out that Carl Fredericks had graduated from being a young lion. All right, moving on. Next thing, I'm going to talk about my thoughts going into the G1 Climax, which starts again this Saturday. The world's greatest tournament begins on September 19th. And we will have English commentary. Hopefully, I will be up early in the morning watching this show. The entire card, like I said before, has been posted, and every single night has matches that I want to see. After going over this card, all of the cards, I'm having second thoughts about my picks about Jay White winning. At this point, I'm kind of at a loss for words. I have no idea going into this tournament. I remember last year, there's a lot of guys that got victories that I didn't expect, like Toru Yano defeated Jon Moxley in one of his matches. So it's kind of hard to pick a winner. I even went as far as creating a spreadsheet so I can go night by night and pick the winners, total up the points. And yeah, this is so hard. There's so many big players in this tournament. You have Naito, you have Okada, you have last year's winner Ibushi, you got Jay White. Again, I have no idea who's going to win this. I'm going to still stick with my prediction of Jay White, although he has one hell of a mountain to climb in order to grab that victory. But getting into the opening night of the G1 Climax tournament, on the card, we have the rematch of Wrestle Kingdom 14, Okada versus Ibushi. I cannot believe they're giving us this match the very first night. This match has been unchallenged as match of the year all the way back in January. That's how good this match is. Some are even calling it the best pro wrestling match in history. So I'm very excited about this match. I will say that I would like to see them go to a no contest, but it would be good if Ibushi were to get his win back. But this ain't the WWE. This ain't 50-50 booking. Anything could happen. And once again, I will be covering each and every night of the tournament. I will be posting all of my reviews on this channel. Be sure to tune in. And rounding off this show, we have the preview for this Friday's NJPW Strong. We're going to have 3 tag matches have been announced. We have ACH and Alex Zane taking on the Guerrillas of Destiny. Guerrillas of Destiny has been on a roll. No reason why they should take a loss now. So I'm going with Guerrillas of Destiny for the win. The next match, you do have Rocky Romero teaming up with PJ Black, taking on Fred Rosser and Mysterioso. Now, do they give Fred Rosser his first loss? Or do they have him go over ring veterans Rocky Romero and PJ Black? I think I'm going to go with Rocky Romero and PJ Black on this one. This isn't like a high-profile match, so Fred Rosser losing isn't really a big deal. And in the main event... Oh, I'm sorry. AC Etching and Alex Zane is the main event. Alright, so we do have, as I said, the tournament opening, the Lions Break Crown tournament. We'll have an inaugural 8-man tag team match where we have Clark Connors, Danny Limelight, Adrian Quest, and Regal taking on Brown, Clearwater, Christian, and the DKC. Oh, this match can go either way. I have no idea which one might get the victory on that. If I had to pick a team, I think I'm going to go with Brown, Clearwater, Christian, and the DKC. But that's going to be it for today's edition of Chris Black's NJPW Report. Once again, I ask that you please take the time to hit that subscribe button. Again, I am going to be covering every single night of the G1 Climax tournament. I cannot express that enough. You definitely want to go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you are notified each and every time I post new content. Every time I post new reviews, you will have it first. You go ahead and hit that bell. While you're at it, won't you slide on over to the Saturday Night SlamCasters YouTube channel and check out all of our content we have there. We have just completed Season 2 of The Dark Side of Ring with the final episode regarding the death of Owen Hart. Now is a good time to go ahead and binge watch all of our reviews if you haven't already. From Season 1 and all of Season 2 of The Dark Side of Ring. We even have the Ruthless Aggression era reviews. All 5 episodes of that. And starting in 2 weeks, we will have our reviews, or we're going to start our reviews of The Undertaker The Last Ride documentaries. So you definitely want to hit that subscribe button. You definitely want to hit that notification bell. We put out good content every other week opposite of our podcast. Speaking of the podcast, you know the Saturday Night SlamCaster Podcast releases new episodes every second and fourth Saturday of each and every month. We just dropped episode 70 last week. If you want to go on back and listen to our reviews of AEW All Out, WWE's Payback, and a bunch of other news stories all about professional wrestling. We cover every aspect, every company, every major company that is, in the world of professional wrestling for you guys. Saturday Night SlamCasters Podcast is available wherever you get your podcast fixed. That's right. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Google Play. We are on Buzzsprout. We are on Stitcher. You name it, we're on it. Find your way over there. Leave us a 5-star review if you think that we're worthy. And as always, go ahead and give me a follow at The Natural Chris Black on Facebook and on Instagram, as well as give me a follow on Twitter at _natural_CB. You can give us a follow on Facebook at SlamCasters for the Saturday Night SlamCasters Podcast. We keep you where you can stay updated to everything that's going on. And I will see you. Oh my God, I made the deadline this week. I actually posted this on Thursday. So please enjoy. And I will see you again next week, Thursday, for the next edition of Chris Black's NJPW Report. But in the meantime, be sure to check out every single episode of the G1 Climax tournament up until that point. This has been the Natural Chris Black. I will talk to you later.